Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 6955 Southwest Highland Way here in Beaverton. Located to the left of the doorway, I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the house. So to the left of the front door, you've got the three big windows. Cleanout sits absolutely perfectly smack dab in front of the middle window. If you draw a line right down the middle of that pane, it's right in front of that, about 6 inches out from the house. 4-inch ABS cleanout. We're going to check the overall condition, serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running, and they zeroed out there at the base of the cleanout. Part of the reason I'm describing where this is at, this cleanout is buried quite deep. It's about a foot deep. It's not one that you just easily find poking around for it. Nice clean sewer line thus far. Little stringy things there at the top of the pipe, which right now is on the bottom of the screen. Those are just cobwebs there. Those are not roots. Spiders are a very prevalent thing in sewer lines. Lots of flies to eat. Certainly not the place I would call home, but they seem to like it. Now we're getting into some standing water right here. We'll have to take a look at this on the way out and see what's going on. We may very well have a root intrusion in the line here. At the very least, standing water. All right, now we're into, looks like 6-inch concrete pipe. We should be seeing the main here pretty quick. This line gets out there a little bit further than I thought it was going to. It's a long sewer line. There's the main there at about 90 feet. We're going to let the pipe drain out for a moment while we go locate the camera head. We'll pull back in here in just a moment, take another look at everything. Alrighty, located the camera head. This thing gets way out there. So it terminates on the complete opposite side of the street. It actually crosses the full width of the road. Where the main lateral is at in this circumstance, under the sidewalk on the opposite side of the road as this house is on. That's why the line is so darn long. It travels in a relatively straight shot. The line does meander around, but if you were to draw an imaginary line from the clean out to the sidewalk on the opposite side of the road, that's essentially the path the line takes. All right, we do have root penetration here at about 80 feet on the right side of the line there. As it sits right now, not affecting functionality, but that can change in time. That joint right there is allowing dirt to come through it too. And it's right under a big, huge root mass on the opposite side of the road. I did put an X marking there. I'm getting around, it's a green X marking. Getting approximately 7 feet deep, but I'm locating through some kind of odd, through a huge mass of roots that are at the surface. It's a little bit awkward. And that's not a spot there I would even recommend you dig to do a repair. I would be looking into an epoxy liner. If you went cutting into that root mass there, you would likely kill the tree if you had to dig that deep. Anyway, because of the unpredictable nature of roots, I always recommend first and foremost repairs on them. As it sits right now, not affecting functionality. You got some kind of weird creature laying eggs in there. Look at those things on the sidewall. Interesting. But also dirt coming to that joint. And a lot of times it's from subterranean creatures that are weaseling their way to the pipe joint. And you know, the age this concrete pipe is, this is about the time where you start to see the pipe grout will start to wear out. More dirt there. And what concerns me about it more than anything is as time goes on, dirt migrating through pipe joints like that can lead to hydro erosion and cause the line to settle slowly but surely over time. I can also tell by the staining on the sidewall there on the right side, you have water that's trickling down, groundwater from somewhere up above. Either, you know, potentially through some kind of crack in the concrete and or through the transition joint. So what I generally recommend in circumstances like this, you know, you have an otherwise right now good flow through the concrete pipe. What I would look into though is the prospect of epoxy lining. If you're going to line the concrete pipe, you might as well line all of it. What that's going to do is obviously seal up the pipe joints, get the roots out of there, prevent them, or help prevent them anyway from ever causing a problem. But it also seals those joints up and ensures that the joints don't ever allow so much groundwater and dirt to flow through that it causes the line to settle over time. Which if you let a line settle too far gone, you kind of lose your ability to do a liner, or at least getting a good result out of it. Right now it's got good slope and grade. So this is the time if you're going to do a liner on it. If not now, I would be trying to do that in the not too distant future to ensure you can take advantage of the cost savings an epoxy liner provides. In this case, it would be a humongous cost savings. And so right now we're right at the tail end of that area with all the standing water in it. We're in the driveway, so the line veers into the driveway. I should have said, if you were to draw an imaginary line, you'd have to run it at a bit of an angle. The line cuts over into the driveway. It runs down about, oh, you're close to about the middle of the driveway where that thing ends up straightening out and run down the driveway. So what I can tell here, it looks like you have a belly in the line. There's a big tree there to the left of the driveway. I was worried was got roots in the line causing the water to stand, but it's just due to settling. Standpoint. All right, the belly here in the line, this is right at the end of the driveway. I put some green paint markings down. You've got about 2 inches of standing water in the line. It's about half full of water here. And that belly extends out to right around where the transition joint is, just shy of it. So about somewhere around 40 feet. So what I would recommend here, at least in my opinion, especially to be cost effective, if you were to repair the belly, you know, either way, you've got an access point here that would suffice to do a liner on this for the concrete pipe. But to me, it's kind of an all or nothing thing. If you're going to be going to the effort of digging up the driveway to correct the belly, I would also, at the very same time, be shooting the liner through the line to line the concrete pipe. It's going to be much more cost effective to do it in that manner. So from a purely flow standpoint right now, the line is a functioning sewer line. It is draining slower than it should due to the belly. The issues going on in the concrete right now have not come home to roost or manifest themselves in a flow problem right now. So what I would recommend here at the least would be just to jet the line out and clean it. Get any buildup out of it, bring it back down to base. That's if repairs are not being done. And then I would rescope the line periodically. I would do it at about the 1 year mark. If repairs are not done right now, I'd rescope the line at 1 year. One, to check for root growth, see how aggressively roots are coming back. Also to check for buildup in the belly, so you know if you have any living habit type things you need to change up to adjust for buildup. Keeping things like wipes, paper towels, grease, cooking oil, stuff like that out of the line will certainly help to prevent buildup from occurring and help prevent that from causing a blockage. Now, after any repairs are done, I would highly recommend rescoping the sewer line to check the work. But between the belly there and the concrete pipe, those are issues I'm recommending fixes on to help prevent blockages from occurring. If you're treating the line nicely, folding your toilet paper, things like that, it does a great deal to help mitigate buildup from occurring in the belly. Improper items are a big one you want to try and keep out of areas of standing water. Wipes, paper towels, things like that. That's the stuff that has an especially difficult time getting through a belly. You can keep it to folded toilet paper, it does a great deal. But I would be rescoping this thing periodically to keep an eye on it and start watching for settling issues to occur in the concrete. If we start seeing any settling, standing water occurring, offset joints forming, that's when you want to try and get on doing the liner, so you can take advantage of that, and it would save a humongous amount of money in this case. You know, you're about 5.5 feet deep there at the end of the driveway. Once you start getting into the road, you're pushing into the 7-foot deep mark. So I don't want to see anyone having to go trench up a road like this from end to end all the way to the sidewalk on the other side. The cost difference there is probably 3 to 4 times what it would be to do a liner. So that's why I'm a fan of those things. They help prevent you from having to look at a much more costly type repair down the road. So if repairs are not done, clean it, rescope it, check the work, and then I would rescope that every year to keep an eye on the line up until you're ready to do repairs on it.